By the time I have grandkids, AI is probably going to have taken over the world. So I figured I'd get a little bit ahead of the curve and let it plan my next vacation. I gave it full control over everything, my budget and my location. It gave me weird rules, restrictions, and deeply questionable hospitality. So now I'm on my way to car camp across Alaska with a star sign projector and $25 worth of groceries. Rental car time. All right, gang, welcome to the rental car. I know, super spacious and cool looking and whatnot. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what is even going on right now? I have no idea what's going on right now. We have to ask ChatGPT that. But before we ask ChatGPT anything, I know that I need to get to the hostel for the night. I talked to ChatGPT about this beforehand, and it said that I get 3 hostel night stays and 2 car night stays. That's all I know. So we're going to go to the hostel. We're going to check in. We're going to unpack. And then we're going to get into, all right, Monday, what's the plan for this week, and how do we get started today? All right, so we've made it to, I think, the stomping grounds for tonight. Now, if I walk in there and there's bed bugs, turning right back around. Yeah, I feel like such a lost tourist right now. I feel like Alaska is like the snowy biome in Minecraft meets like bad capitalism. I don't know. Maybe I just wish it was sunnier or what. The mountains, oh my gosh, are so gorgeous, and I'm so happy. Just like, I can't stop smiling every time I see them. I'm just like, oh my goodness. But yeah, we're going to scope out this hostel, and then I'm going to actually sit down and break down what today and the rest of the week is going to look like for you guys. So wish me luck.
You have a reservation?
Yes.
Come right on in. Ready to start with some ID?
Yeah. Yes. So this is it. Yeah, it's bigger than my college dorm. It's not looking too bad. Interesting, but not terrible. But I'm gonna find a different place to explain the game plan. Challenge number 1 for today is get food for the next 3 days on $25. I've heard and read that Alaska is a pretty expensive state to be in, so I don't know how that's going to happen. Challenge number 2 is we have to glow up this hostel room, all right? I don't know how ChatGPT just knew that it was going to need a glow up, and we've got some gear that we're going to use for the rest of the week for this thing. Third challenge is going to be an emotional weather forecast. Right now, I'm feeling pretty good, other than the fact that right when I found a place that I felt comfortable filming, it started raining. I feel pretty cool about being here. I would show you the mountains, but they're now covered in clouds. The clouds that are raining on me right now. Challenge number 4 is we need to go for a 1-mile walk. Now, you might be thinking to yourself the same thing I'm thinking, but Johnny, it's raining. To which I would say, I know, but, but. And then challenge number 5, we have to have a Polaroid. To kind of kick off this trip. Over this trip, we're going to have a Polaroid for each day, and it's supposed to encapsulate the just the vibe of the day. So that's what we're going to do. So yeah, let's go see what we can't do for grocery shopping. But first, I don't have to live off that $25 today. That was a 6-hour flight, and I'm hungry. So we're going to go find something in Anchorage. Guys, I don't know what's more heartbreaking. The rain or the fact that I just looked and there's no Chick-fil-A or Chipotle in Anchorage, or it looks like anywhere in Alaska, which is just super unfortunate. So I asked ChatGPT because obviously that's the point of this video, is to ask ChatGPT what the flip I'm doing. And he low-key cooked. So apparently there's this place called the 49th State Brewing Company that serves reindeer sausage and like elk burgers and just stuff like that. Local food looks kind of sick. I look kind of sick, to be honest. I just noticed this red spot on my... You know, there was a challenge to walk a mile, and I did it, but you're not going to see it because I was trying to set up camera on a city street while holding a selfie stick and looking like a lost podcast intern. And about 40 steps in, I was being approached by people who didn't really look like they wanted to be part of a wholesome travel video. So I walked the mile off camera, and it was probably the fastest, tensest, most emotionally complex cardio I've done since high school gym class. All right, so after waiting like entirely too long, I just ordered takeout. The brewery said that they had an hour and 30-minute wait. It's just like, all right, is it really worth it for the bit? I answered no. I got a yak burger. And I said, hey, is this going to be a lot of food? They're like, yeah, I would, maybe get a side. Guys, this is bigger than, like, my head. Oh, you think you're going to watch me eat this? Absolutely not. This is not a mukbang channel. But these tater tots do look good. Look at that. Stop watching me, freaks. Grocery time. So, full disclaimer, without the water, it gets just below $25. And with the water, it gets us at just under 30. So, do with that what you will. I did end up getting a second loaf of bread here, even though I definitely didn't need to because we didn't end up using it. I'm gonna say challenge complete on this one. I talked about it right after it happened, but the mic started dying when that happened, so now you're getting a voiceover in post. But let me know what you guys think. Comment, did we hit this challenge or did we not? Yeah, time to go decorate the hostel, I suppose. Hello. This is gonna have to be the last time we speak for the night. I'm tired, and I have roommates, and I'm scared of them. May I present to you Gary. Gary is going to be my emotional support throughout this trip because I'm here alone. Gary knows what I should have packed. Gary also knows what I wanted to pack but left it behind, you know. The table of random stuff. Wow. Just things. Because I don't have enough time to completely unpack everything, to then repack everything, because we got a whole nother car to move into tomorrow morning. I know. Exhilarating. Check it out, guys. A star sign. Welcome to the emotional weather forecast. What the freak? Check it out, gang. I have for today, Monday, 100% chance of a weird squiggly line face. Tired, happy, sad, 100%. Because it's happening right now. For Tuesday, we have a 70% chance of quite happy. I'm excited to see Denali, so that'll be dope. But slightly tired. Wednesday, confused, 80% chance. Thursday, 75% chance of super tired and sad because we have to drive back to Anchorage. This is all assuming Fairbanks is just like the best place ever. And then Friday, 90% chance. Super sad, super tired. Because it'll be time to go home and away from this wonderland. Oh, and I took the Polaroid for today. But you don't get to see the Polaroids until the end. So that's the challenges completed. But at what cost? See you tomorrow. Morning routine. I've always wanted to do that transition. So we have approximately 1 hour to switch out this rental car for the new headquarters. But first, Bible study time if you want to follow along. We're in Matthew chapter 4. Guys, that was the most chaotic car swap I've ever seen in my life. Not that I frequently swap cars, but my gosh. I didn't even record like any of it because I was terrified. Imagine being in an airport parking garage where you're not supposed to leave bags or anything, and the one rental car is late on delivery, but that doesn't mean you can be late on dropping off. So just sitting there walking around aimlessly in a parking garage with a 40 pack of water bottles from Walmart. And so eventually I just left them on the sidewalk. And then I see the airport security guy drive past me right at literally 42 seconds after I dropped the water bottles off. I hit it behind a pillar. Okay, I'm not stupid, but I was like, there's no way he's gonna confiscate my water, but he didn't. But it's okay. Now we're on the way back to the hostel to go pack up camp, and then I think we gotta find a coffee shop and get some fuel for this trip coming up. Packing up, and I remembered I got stickers from the place I got the elk burger from, and I'm thinking I sticker up this water bottle. Any place that I can get stickers where I bring you guys along. You know what I mean? I'm gonna finish packing up and we'll get back to the car and talk about the game plan. So just checked out of the hostel, and after a 3-second conversation, I wish I could have pulled my phone out and started recording, but I literally had everything in my hands. But he was just asking me all these questions about this trip and what are your plans? And I'm like, how do I tell this guy that I don't have any plans and that AI is planning it all without telling him that AI is planning it all? So telling him, I have very loose plans and this, that, and the other. And he's like, I can tell you're single. And that one might have stung a little bit. All right, before we head up north, I want some coffee. So I'm gonna tell ChatGPT exactly that. All right, so I asked ChatGPT what coffee I should get, and we're gonna go to, apparently Black Cup Coffee is the best coffee in Anchorage, so that's what we're about to do. The range on this mic isn't actually as great as I would have liked it to be. I walked in there, had a great conversation about the East Coast and the Midwest and everything. Is it painfully obvious that there's a mic in here? Because the people at the coffee shop were just staring at my chest the entire time. Or maybe I'm just self-conscious about it. But all right, from Black Cup, caramel macchiato. He told me, I wish I caught this conversation. I settled the debate right there. I was like, listen, I traveled 3,000 miles to find out if it's caramel or caramel. He told me caramel. So they put a little symbol next to my name. That's right. Oh my gosh. This is the most different cup of coffee I've ever. Why is this so good? Oh my gosh. I've had a caramel macchiato probably every day. Give 4 days grace, but for the past 6 months. And this is the best one I've ever tasted. Holy crap. Wow. Alaska, you did good. My first challenge of the day was to interview strangers on the street. So I drove to Talkeetna, which I was told would be charming and full of people. Instead, I found one gift shop, one dog, and the crushing realization that I may have misunderstood what busy season means in Alaska. Excuse me. Oh, no. Excuse me. All right. After Talkeetna, I stopped for another coffee. No regrets. Sometimes a kind barista is reason enough to pull over. Then I walked through some snow, ate jelly with bread like a sad raccoon, and realized the quiet was starting to catch up to me. So I leaned into it. Challenge number 1 of the day is to drive for an hour with nothing. I've been on the phone, I've listened to podcasts, listened to music, but now we gotta go an hour of silence. So, might as well knock that out now before we get to our next challenge. So, get to the stopwatch, reset it, and here we go. Timer starts now. I've never desired a passing lane more in my life. Something about the silence just makes me want to speed. But you never know what's around the corner. At least that's what she told me. I've reached the hour. I'm at an hour. It's upside down. Wake up. Wake up, watch. And I reached an hour of the silence. So one challenge left for the day. Gas station roulette. I picked the weirdest gas station snacks I could find, and they chose violence. Oh, it looks like it's gonna give me a disease, actually. Oh my gosh. You ever have a goldfish or like just a fish tank and you feed them those little flakes? That's what that smells like. I'm not finishing this. There's absolutely no way. These poor chickens. God help me. That was such a waste of money.
Likely the light of mine will burn out in the mountains where I spend my rambling years.
Hello from Fairbanks. I messed up. Not really. I'm tired. I consider this an absolute win. But according to my travel consultant, Monday, ChatGPT, I messed up. I'm dead. I need a place to regroup. Not having internet access kind of threw me for a loop. It was cool. It was a novelty. I was like disconnected from the world. I still had like stuff downloaded I can listen to. But then it was just like, wait a minute. The entire premise of this video is to use artificial intelligence from the internet. So I got to a coffee shop. I was like, yo, this isn't going to work. So here are the challenges for the day that we didn't complete. I guess the next time you'll hear from me is when I say, morning routine. So I slept in quite a bit, but what's really cool is that they have free breakfast for another 30 minutes. So I'm going to be that guy showing up 30 minutes left for breakfast. But then we'll pack up. I don't know what time I'm supposed to check out, but I'll do that and get on with the plan today. I got a muffin and also like the world's smallest cup of coffee. Like, look at this thing. It's tiny. So it kind of makes me want to go to another coffee shop, which I know it's like been 90% of the footage you've seen is me going to coffee shops, but it's not bad. The place that we're scheduled to go is China Hot Springs. And I'm going to have to voice over and post because I have no idea really what there is to do today. I know where we're going, and I don't remember all the challenges. Yeah, that plan I just said I had, that guy didn't know what day he was really about to have. There are people here, but there are only 2. And so the idea of going up and asking them if they'd be okay with an interview terrifies me. But I feel like I've been so lackadaisical with the challenges thus far that I'm gonna have to kind of do it, but no promises. I'm here with
Nancy.
Okay, and we're gonna ask these silly questions that Monday gave us. So, all right, if Alaska was an emotion, what do you think it would be?
Courageous or undefeated.
Gotcha. Fire. Inspirational. I'm glad we're here. All right, and then so the second question is, if your day had to, what pasta noodle would it be and why?
Screw and goes in all different directions, and it's like I'm just here on vacation for a few days, detoxing, so it's a beautiful thing.
Beautiful. You said
It's just sleep, eat, and soak.
fire. You said scungili? Am I saying that right?
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, that's for that.
Sicilian, so there you go.
All right, fire.
Roma pastas.
Thank you, Nancy. Everybody say thank you, Nancy, when you see this. All right. All right, so that was the most like uncomfortable but like cool experiences. I don't know how to describe it. So leaving the hot springs now, of course ChatGPT would have had me do like these interviews. There were literally 2 people in the hot springs when I got there, and I was like, all right, maybe I'll sit around, maybe I'll wait for people to show up. But it's so hot in there, dude. Like, oh my gosh. I was like, you can still see it in my face. I need to hydrate more. Like, it's bad. Yeah, I can still feel like the hydration leaving my skin. It was worse than a sauna. And like, I can get where that can be like super cool. It's like, wow, it's Alaska, it's freezing above the water, but hot in the water. It's not even freezing above the water. I left the hot springs still pretending I was fine. It was easier to keep things light. The interviews, the ducks, the jokes. But by the time I had pulled into the hostel, it really hit me how quiet things had gotten and how loud that silence really started to feel. All right, this is the place for the night. You know, not really much happened today on camera, but I don't really have much else planned. I'm gonna just relax a little bit. It's getting kind of lonely. I normally love traveling, and like even alone, it's generally fine, but I don't know, something's just different. Yeah. I feel like someone else is supposed to be here. You know? Hello. All right, so I'm sure me from the future already like explained where I kind of got mentally. I've kind of like pictured how this video is going to be formatted now. But just like, I don't know. Something about this city is just like cooking me mentally. So I feel like if I stop moving and stop exploring, then I'm just going to like, I'm gonna spiral mentally. Just because like I have no community here. I don't have someone to reach out to and be like, yo. I feel like I set the table perfectly for somebody to be sitting next to me, just enjoying the adventure with. And nobody ever showed up, you know. Because why would they? So. All right. I did way too much to get that shot. Oh my. Definitely need a peanut butter and jelly before we begin the rest of the journey. It's kind of ironic, right? Just like living in the wilderness on like next to nothing, but like super disconnected, but I have a massive hunk of metal technology I'm living out of. A fun game I like to play is imagining what those people that are driving by are saying to themselves. And they're like, oh wow, yeah, another guy living out of a minivan with a tripod. Bet he thinks he's gonna make it big one day. I'm gonna turn the camera off and, you know. Letting an AI plan this trip felt like a shortcut. Clean, precise, safe from surprises. But it was really just disconnection packaged as direction. The more I followed it, the more it held up a mirror. No chaos, no noise, just a map I couldn't argue with, and silence that I had to answer. There are things that I brought with me that didn't belong to this trip. Memories, habits, small comforts that held more weight than they should have. I thought I'd be more prepared for the quiet moments, but they ask harder questions than the loud ones do. And they don't wait for answers. Still, along the way, there were people. People that I never planned for, and people that I may never see again. But in those moments, they reminded me of what true connection feels like. Maybe it was never about where I ended up. Maybe it was always about who I shared the road with. Even if only for a moment. And maybe that was enough.